I have asked you for things that I think are fairly routine, like bank balances, and for some reason that seems to be difficult. And I'm not trying to impose a burden on you. I tried to make up a list of things that you could give me in 20 minutes in a week, and then 20 minutes each month. And I'm hoping that going forward, that's not going to be so difficult.
Oh, it won't be, Barbara, because the checklist is in place, so that when you want these things on a Friday, you'll get them on a Friday automatically, the same way the transportation people get their stuff.
But these aren't accounting records. These are bank statements and bank balances, which is a different thing, because that's also a side of the information that we need to get, because we're also dealing in real time. You know, we want to know today we have X amount of money in the bank,
Right.
and that's a legitimate
Okay,
concern.
your comment is duly noted and will be
Thank you.
effectuated.
Thank you.
Ray, I would like to thank you for the wonderful work you're doing. Personally, to me and to the a lot of residents, you give tremendous, I don't know, I have a sense of security that somebody, first time perhaps in the last 6 or 7 years, is watching our money and setting internal controls and procedures in order. You just mentioned tip of the iceberg, because the board by itself started to look at some of the vendors' ledgers, and we identified number of double billed invoices. We identified things which call for certain audit of certain vendors immediately. So to put it in a very simple, plain terms, the accounting is a complete mess, and we greatly appreciate the effort. And thank you.
Let's hope you say the accounting wasn't a great mess.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, the accounting. I'm sorry. I apologize. The accounting wasn't a great. It was a mess.
Ray, what are we looking at as far as the liabilities, short-term and long-term right now?
Well, I'd say, if we just look, your biggest long-term liability, you have two large long-term liabilities. The unfunded pension liability, which is, I think, around 1.2, and also the bank loan, which is just around 15, a little over 15 million.
Right.
Short-term, you've got, again, the short-term Banco Popular, and the, let's say, around $120,000 or $130,000 in the short-term portion of the unfunded pension liability. To the extent that we're talking about accounts payable, you're probably talking somewhere around $1.5 million, excluding those major ones that are in litigation. I think the largest one in there is probably the S, that is just, I'll say, under $1 million. We have a payment plan with them.
So it's basically has for about $800,000. We have the possibility. We have, correct me if I'm wrong, right? We have a liability, possible liability with Walter Gorman of almost $400,000. Yeah, we had the NICO for 197. We had the Ridge. All of these. So these were possible short-term liabilities that we were looking at. We also had in January we had a possible liability of $1.4 million that we were actually got rid of through the mall negotiation.
That's right.
Right.
Yes.
And I think that I see light at the end of the tunnel. We put a PO system in
That's
place,
correct.
so that there's a complete circle on the ordering process. I know that you worked hard on that, and the ladies in the accounting department have all of our things.
And I've told them that from the last quarter. There's one other item, the North Bergen Municipal Utilities Authorities. We owe them roughly $250,000, and we are also, with them, we're making a payment.
Right, but that one we need to clear up as soon as possible,
Right.
because we are getting charged 18%.
They're an
on the,
18% interest.
Right.
And any payment that you make goes to the interest.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Hey.
Yeah, just one other thing. It also helps to see in the accounts payable and aging. So while there may be $1.5 million excluding legal, what is the aging of it? When is it due? How much is past due?
I have the copy right
Okay.
over there, like I said
Okay,
before.
that would be helpful also.
Richard, the interesting part is that as we get up to date on our billing and our paying our bills, our aging report is a non-entity. We should not have anything over 30 days.
Doesn't matter. You need the knowledge in front of you. You can't run any
It is a
business.
standard report from the auditor, and you will get that.
Fine.
And that was part of the financial package before.
Right, but do we have funds for the MUA, for the North Bergen Sewer Authority? Do we have funds? Do we have, can we?
Well, we have a payment plan with them, and there was a proposal that I shot to Barbara today, and she came back with some questions about, you know, whether we should take care of the North Bergen when we're behind on some of the repair and restoration payments, and also some other payments that are coming up.
But the settlement funds we have, we're not spending any, we put a
You know,
big chunk in our reserve.
What we did.
18.5%.
We put around $780,000. The complete mall settlement went into the Merrill Lynch Reserve Fund, and last week we made another payment of roughly $320,000. So that all in all, in the last month or two, we've made contributions of $1.1 million.
Should we take $200,000, move it to different bank and just pay it off, because 18.5% is it's huge.
Well, I think Barbara, that's what Barbara and I were talking about.
Let's make a couple of things clear. First of all, one reason our utility bills are so high right now is that we didn't pay them for a couple of months, so we've accumulated some, and Ray is working on this backlog. Even though we have put in a substantial amount now to the Merrill Lynch R&R account, we are still not current for this year. We are still out about 2.5 months. We have not made that deposit. And we do have lobby expenses coming up to close out the lobbies that have to be allowed for. We also have our loan payments to allow for. So it's not just a no-brainer to move this money. And there are some obstacles to doing what Ray proposed, which we are discussing. And I'm sure that we will find the money to pay the MUA, and it may not be all this month, but we will find the money to do it, because we continue to take in money, I think, on a regular basis, about $1.5 million a month.
Okay, thank you. I think it's a no-brainer, really, but you pay, anytime that you're paying interest on 18% and you don't have it at the other end.
I have a neighbor who wants to advance Galaxy $200,000 for, let's say, 11% interest.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Okay,
that you'll
thank
find
you.
a lot of people.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ray. So,
Yeah.
Jan.
Tape is finished.